What's up, guys? Rick from DFS On Demand here with the one and done preview for the Masters. I will say I am recording this video before the conclusion of the Valero Texas Open. I want to get this out as early as possible. Masters week for me basically lasts a whole month. So that's why I'm not going to show you where I currently stand, although I can give you a very quick recap. In our weekly pick, we had Tony Finau, who did make the cut, but is kind of floundering around. We're probably going to get, 60th place prize money or something like that, so it won't be very great. And then our season-long pick, which continues to just dominate our other lineup, we had Matt Kuchar, who at last check with probably, 9 holes to play, was in the top 10. So if we can get some top 10 money there, we'll continue to bank that. Along with our season long, which has just been great. So, Charlie Hoffman currently in the lead, Ryan Moore up there. I think Ryan Moore will help probably about 100 people, 115 people. Charlie Hoffman probably won't help that many. So it's not like we whiffed on too much. I think Tony Finau was the most popular golfer this week. But for the Masters, let's talk about this and let's go to the model. And if you're new this week, what took you so long? No. This model really has worked well for our season-long picks, and I love looking at it every single week. And there should be no surprise that Tiger Woods is far and away the golfer with the highest expected value this week. Really, that's coming from his great Masters history, his average finishes, just the way this model works, the average prize amount that he makes because he plays less tournaments than everyone and because he makes a lot more money than everyone over the course of his career. He has such a great baseline that he's almost always going to be the highest expected player here. But right after that, you get really the studs that you would expect: Rory, DJ, JT, Rahm, and then I was actually surprised to see Spieth check in basically 6th on this list. This is a weekly tool that obviously is taking into account his recent form. It hasn't been great, or normally he would probably be far and away the leader at Augusta for expected value. So pretty cool to see how this kind of shakes itself out. And if we scroll down, because this is such a big event, because the prize pool is going to be so large and the winner share is going to be so significant, we really need to get this one right. And I've just compared 3 players against each other here. I've got Tiger, I've got Justin Thomas, and I've got Jordan Spieth. And this is the best chance you're going to get Spieth all year. Technically, this is recorded before. This graph you're looking at right now is accounted for before the season starts. It's what I used for my season-long metric. But if you just look at it, this would have been the best spot to use Jordan Spieth. No real surprise. Tiger Woods, not necessarily. Tiger, you could have used at the Players' Championship. He would have had a better expected value. He would have been pretty close with the Arnold Palmer. He still has one outstanding at the Tour Championship, assuming he gets there. So there are other opportunities to use Tiger. Justin Thomas, kind of in a similar boat. Really good numbers here at the Masters. You could also probably use him at the PGA Championship. That's his best place outside of the Tour Championship, assuming he gets there. So there's different spots here, but I want to show you one thing that I keep coming back to, and I'll go to the strokes gain tool. And again, this strokes gain tool is updated as of like 3.5 rounds through the Valero Texas Open. So it does not have the final numbers from Valero Texas Open. It has about the first 3.5 rounds in here. But I wanted to record it, so that's what you're looking at. We know a couple things about Augusta, okay, let's start with this. We know a couple things about golf. You're going to have to be good tee to green here. No one better tee to green than Rory. Justin Thomas, 2nd, and Hideki 3rd since January 1st when it comes to tee to green numbers. Or I guess it's actually, Hideki and Justin Thomas are very, very close. Actually, they have the same average per tournament, so they're identical. But those 3 lead the way. What we also know about Augusta is you need to be great around the greens. I go into this a little more in detail in the full DFS video if you want to go watch that. But you need to be good around the greens. So what you'll notice is guys that thrive around the greens this year, your top tier players, Tiger Woods and JT, pretty significantly ahead Rory, DJ, Justin Rose, and Jon Rahm. In fact, Rahm is essentially a neutral around the green player. Down in the lower ranges, and he might be popular because he's had good success here at Augusta, so it's no surprise that he shows up here, is Louis Oosthuizen, who is just absolutely immaculate around the greens, has had great success here. I think he's going to be fairly popular. The final thing we know is you need to be a long hitter. I don't have it here in front of you, but I show it on the DFS video. The driving distance is more important at Augusta than it is at any other tournament on the PGA Tour using my regression model. So with all that being said, you have to be long, you have to be good around the greens. Ideally, you have played here and found success in the past, and you need to be playing well coming into this. There's one guy for me, and I actually should confirm that I haven't used him yet. Hold on one second. And spoiler alert, I am an idiot. The guy that I'm describing, who I would have loved to have played if I haven't already used him, is Justin Thomas, but I've used him, and I'm a moron. So I've used him back at the Sony Open, first one out of the gate, so I completely forgot about it. So I just confirmed it. So really, we're going to have to go somewhere else. And what I like to do, and let me see if I can pull this up really quickly. So the guy that I'm going to go with is Bubba Watson, who is the longest off the tee. So he's got all the driving distance, course history, absolutely 2 wins, a 5th place finish last year, playing well, of course, 4th at the Valspar. I think he was 1 and 2 at the match play. So a little uninspiring at the match play, but as with a lot of, like, we're able to write a lot of that off. And then he just absolutely lapsed the field last year in strokes gained off the tee, which is where you need to be really, really good here. He can make a ton of eagles. He can make a ton of birdies. I'm a little bit concerned about his around the green game. I'm a little bit concerned about his putting, but my hope is that his experience, because his season-long putting stats are not great. Like, he loses strokes putting. Makes it up in a lot of other places, but I'm hoping that if there's ever a course where he's going to putt his best, it's going to be Augusta, because of how important it is to have that experience and to know how these greens roll. So I'm going to roster Bubba. I don't know really how popular he's going to be. Past champion. There's just so many good players in this field. I'm a little bit torn on how owned he's going to be. Quite frankly, in my weekly, I've basically rostered every other stud. So if we just go by DraftKings scoring, I think I have rostered every one of the top 10 guys already. So we are a little bit limited. And then in our weekly, we actually have Tony Finau, who, if you would have asked me 4 days ago, I would have been pretty stoked about, but I guess I have to decide. So I said, I kind of hope Finau misses the cut at the Valero. Because it might drive his ownership down. He had a 10th place finish last year. He has all the tools off the tee, all the distance, all the birdie making, everything we would expect for a guy to find success. And now this is going to be his 2nd trip to Augusta after a top 10 in his first start. That's very, very rare for him to. And then if he can continue to improve, which is what we have normally seen, I was pretty stoked for Finau. So I kind of jokingly said, I hope he misses the cut. Now, he didn't miss the cut, but he didn't necessarily play well. He's going to finish 60th by the time this thing is all said and done. So I don't know if that's okay, I wish she would have played a little bit better because now I have to roster him, or this is exactly what I wanted. I got a player who I was begging for 2 weeks ago, and hopefully this drives a few more owners off of him. So we're going to go with Bubba in our weekly, Tony Finau in our season long, and hope to find a win. It'll be very important and critical this week. Let me know who you're playing. Tweet me. It's at DFS On Demand, or leave a comment below. Talk to you guys later.